Hey fans and subscribers, this is your host Joe for the Gaming for Insight channel with you to bring another video for Quick Chat. The topic is the Steam Deck still king in 2025? Joining me is my first time guest, Scattered Brain. Welcome to Quick Chat.
Thanks so much for having me.
It's been a journey with the Steam Deck. We have the Steam Deck LCD and the Steam Deck OLED. The journey for me started in the summer of 2021 when it was available to pre-order. The Steam Deck, it's really revolutionized the way that you game, whereas you might be accustomed to sitting at your laptop or your desktop, but being able to go where you want and then pull up the games that you want on a lightweight operating system. And like magic, it just works with most games. I won't say all games. And here we are from back to 2021. We're here in 2025, and we have other handhelds like the Neo 3 and the One X Player G1. The question I have for you is the Steam Deck still a worthy contender compared to the newer handhelds releasing this year?
Yeah, I mean that's a really, I think, valid topic, right? Like, as you know, as things progress with technology, we're getting more powerful handhelds, but Valve hasn't made any updates to the Steam Deck technically. I know we've got the LCD and we've got the OLED, and technically the OLED is a little bit better even spec-wise, but you still have Valve promising that one day they will release a Steam Deck 2. It's just they have no idea when, apparently. And yeah, I mean, they're still selling this one, but I think what's really interesting, and this is like the perfect timing, is I had just released a video kind of looking at the Steam Deck today. And I actually think now is the best time to buy a Steam Deck. Like, yes, there are more powerful things out there, but if you look on like GameStop.com, if you go to like Valve's Steam Deck website, you can buy a refurbished Steam Deck for like less than a cost of a Nintendo Switch. And that's kind of wild that you can, like, yeah, it's, gonna have less storage. I think it's only the 64 gigabyte version that's that low of a price, but you can pick up a Steam Deck for, what is it, like $250 refurbished, and you're playing AAA games that the Switch can't even handle.
It's amazing with the price how approachable it is to get involved with the Steam Deck and pick up a Steam Deck. You mentioned accessibility with GameStop as well, and then refurbished Steam Decks as well from Valve. And here in 2025, the Steam Deck, although dated, as you mentioned, does it still offer us features that the newer gaming handhelds with Windows, or even those that have Bazzite installed on them? Because many people are trying to create the Steam Deck 2 with Bazzite, but if we take one of those, like the ROG Ally X with Bazzite, and compare it with the Steam Deck experience that we have, is there still something there that the Steam Deck offers us, that other handhelds like with Bazzite do not?
Yeah, I mean, there's no question about it. There's a reason that I go for my Steam Deck more often than I don't. I'm reviewing all these devices, so I have the choice. I'm lucky enough to even have that choice. But at the end of the day, really the two handhelds that I kind of feel like I'm mainly using nowadays is the Steam Deck, but also the Ally X. And my Ally X is, like you mentioned, there's Bazzite, there's Chimera, there's one other, but I'm blanking. But that's fine. There's other options out there, right? You can install any OS on these devices. And even though my Ally X with Bazzite is pretty awesome, and I also love that flexibility that the Ally X has, where I can, sometimes choose Bazzite, sometimes choose Windows, there's a reason I go back to my Steam Deck. SteamOS is, at the moment, built for the Steam Deck. It's extremely well integrated into Steam Deck, and everything just works out of the box. I think the other devices out there are really valid, and I love my Ally X, for example, and I've actually got the One X Fly right here, and I'm loving playing with that right now. But at the end of the day, I just want to turn on my device and I just want it to work. And I think Valve has delivered that with Steam Deck, where no other device really has gotten that hardware and software integration quite right.
It's a seamless experience. You sit down, you turn it on, your games are right there. You don't have to worry about whether your memory is cleared on Windows before you start getting into that game. And I'm understanding that you're going back to the Steam Deck. The Steam Deck, it has some great features to it that draw me to it. Decky Loader, for example, and we have updates on Decky Frame Gen, that plugin, Power Tools, which is my absolute favorite. What is it about the Steam Deck, whether it be software-based or hardware-based, what is it that draws you back to it, even in 2025, compared to Bazite and others?
Yeah, I think it's like you said, it's like you can have all these extra things on it if you want, but you don't even need those things. Like I've got Decky Loader. I have one of those plugins that lets me know, from like the Proton DB if there's any other like compatibility things I can do to make some of my games run better. But I don't even have to do that. I can just turn this thing on, go into the Steam store, go into the Great on Deck, and I just know what I'm getting myself into. There's really no other experience like that out there. Because even on, when you get to like the Bazite of the world and those sorts of options for these devices, there still just isn't a guarantee, because it's not doing some sort of hardware check against your device, because your device is not a Steam Deck at the moment, right? So it's really just the way that it has consoleized PC gaming.
Yeah, absolutely. And the approachability with multiple AAA games, the Proton drivers, even just experimental, is very flexible. But if you want to take it a step further, you can even go with Proton GE specialized ones to get even further compatibility. And really within your collection, you not only have access to the AAA games, but you also have access to software emulation if you would like to get into EmuDeck. So just curious, for what you use on your Steam Deck, do you find that you turn to your AAA games more on the Steam Deck, software emulation, or a combination of both?
It's definitely more of a combination. I think I do use EmuDeck, and I think one of the great things about that is you do have that flexibility to customize your experience. You could decide, I want my whole ROMs library to show up on Steam as if they're native games, but I actually really like to separate that out, and I like to have just the emulation station as my launch option in the Steam front end. And that way I can decide if I'm in the AAA world, the PC game world, or I can just launch emulation station and I can get into my ROMs that way. And that's been like my favorite way to kind of find the right balance. I think I like having EmuDeck there because, this thing's so powerful. You can play like Xbox 360 games, Switch games, Wii U games, PS3 games. Obviously not the whole library, but a huge amount of it. So just having that option there is really awesome. I do find that I'm kind of, at least right now, kind of more in the realm of like, what are the good games that I can just pick up and go? And even though it's like so underpowered for what it is, I always just end up at Balatro. Like, I know you don't need a Steam Deck for Balatro, but I just love that I can be anywhere and just pick up that game and play, and it's right on my Steam Deck. It has my save file whenever I want it, right? Like all the other handhelds, if it's not a PC handheld, I'm not going to get that save file. So I've actually been playing a ton of Balatro on this thing. But even the newer stuff, like I've been playing Spider-Man 2 on here, and sure, I'm compromising on the graphics a little bit, but man, I'm taking a PlayStation 5 game on the go, and nothing really beats the ergonomics of this Steam. I'm looking down because I've got my Steam Deck right here.
You got the white.
Nothing really beats the ergonomics. I love this special edition white. I'm very happy that I was able to get it. And yeah, this is just such a comfortable device. I don't think any handheld has really beaten the ergonomics that the Steam Deck offers.
Well, Scatterbrain, thank you so much for your insight and your knowledge into the Steam Deck. Thanks so much for joining Quick Chat.
Thanks for having me.